Beloved friend, come and play at a vaster level. It is all within you. Come and play. Come and play with God's children. You are free. In this moment, you are as free as you will ever be right now. How then will you use time? What will you construct out of your infinite field of awareness? What world will you look upon? What thoughts will you think? What feelings will you evoke within the cells? Hello friends! In this video we're talking about lesson 1 within the Way of Transformation. Now this is book 2 of the trilogy The Way of Mastery. These books are by JON MARC HAMMER, or Jayem, or Jayem? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. And these books are a great alternative to A Course in Miracles because like A Course in Miracles, these books are a channeling of Jesus, or Jeshua ben Joseph, and they reestablish his teachings. And they provide a path to enlightenment, or remembering what we truly are, our connection to Source, Creator, whatever you wish to call it. They are a path for us to reach Christ consciousness. So the main theme in the first lesson in the Way of Transformation is you are free. And there's 3 main ideas that he goes over. The first one is that separation is illusion. And he kind of reminds us of this fact, or this truth, the beginning of most lessons, is that we are one with him. He is not above us, we are all one. We're all the same source, the same creator. The second 2 ideas have to do with what we identify as. The first one being we are not this body. We are not limited to a body, even though it very much seems like we are during this earth experience, right? But that we are not limited to a body, and that's not what we really are. The second idea he presents is that we are not the ego or the personality or these roles or masks that we play. That is not what we truly are. And when we define ourselves in that limited nature, it limits our experience. So the first idea, separation is illusion. We are not separate from the truth, from the Creator, from the infinite creative intelligence that's within everything. In truth, you are pure spirit. In truth, you are as I am. In truth, that which you are abides throughout all dimensions of consciousness. In truth, that which you are has never tasted separation from God. There is an aspect of you, yes indeed, that has chosen to perceive yourself as identified with the physical body in this 3rd dimensional world of yours called space and time. This is a part of the experience you have created and thus called to yourself. But when I speak of self, I speak not of the self which is the dream of the body, the self which is that which you've identified yourself with, but rather the self that transcends all limitation and exists in all dimensions. The next idea is that we are not a body. We're not limited to just our skin, to this flesh. Really that the body is within the consciousness, the one consciousness, the one true mind. At no time are you imprisoned within the body. At no time are you limited to the appearance that you have come to believe is you. No matter how deep the pain, no matter how certain you have been, which you call your common sense, telling you that, I am here, I am this body, this moment is happening, this is all there is. Regardless of all of that, the truth is not shaken. You are not the mere appearance of the body-mind that you have called the self. And the next idea that comes up in the lesson is one that has gone over before in The Way of the Heart, the previous book, is that you must be committed to awakening. You must commit to it, choosing that you want to awaken, that you want to reach Christ consciousness. And to do that, you must take responsibility and realize that nothing is coming from outside of you, that you are creating all of your experience. The Way of Transformation rests on exactly the same thing that all of your dreams rest upon, the decision concerning what you would be committed to. For you cannot dream a dream, that is, you cannot create an experience in the field of consciousness without being 100% committed to it. It may appear that this is not the case, but I assure you that it is. This means that in each moment of your lived experience, what you are aware of is wholly uncaused by anything outside of yourself. So we must commit to transform. We must commit to live differently. And a way in which we can do this is start to open our perceptions into wider perceptions, be able to perceive things that are beyond the physical. Since we are the one consciousness within everything, we can perceive much more than we're used to. And to open up to these wider perceptions, he gives us a little affirmation we can use. I am not what I have perceived myself to be. I am unlimited, pure spirit, and nothing is unavailable to me. Therefore, in this moment, I choose to open access to other dimensions of experience so that I might call this moment to me in a different way. Practice this little exercise as often as you choose, in any and all circumstances. It is not difficult. You simply use the field of your consciousness to decide to be aware of what's around the edges of the 3rd dimensional experience you are having. And he gives some example of these, and he says, for example, let's say you're driving, you come to a red light, and a car pulls up beside you, and you look over. And instead of just seeing another person sitting in a car just as you are, decide to become more aware of that person. And he says things might arise, images, thoughts that that other person might be having, or emotions they may be having. And then he brings up something that's very interesting. He says there's nothing private. No one can really hide anything from another person because all is one thing. All is open. What we're suggesting here is that you use the most ordinary moments of your day to become aware of your own being, your own naturally expanded, unlimited self. There is nothing hidden at any time, and in any moment you have full access to the totality of another soul. Whoa, this might bring up some fear, right? It's like, oh, I can't hide anything for anyone else. But he says that only comes from fear. What is there to hide? We are all the same light, the same love. So just like the title of this book, The Way of Transformation, he reminds us to transform, to change. We must commit to change right here and right now and stop giving excuses, because you're in the perfect place, you're in the perfect body right now to change. You don't need anything else. It's just your choice and your commitment to change your thoughts, your identifications, your beliefs, your actions. You see, the way of transformation absolutely requires that you be committed to living differently. For is not transformation a change from the status quo? How can you experience transformation if you do not use time to think and be differently? Crying out to me will not do it. Reading 1,000 holy books will not do it. One thing and one thing only will bring you into the transformation that you have sought, the willingness to abide where you are differently. I can really relate to this one because I find myself always being like, oh, I need to research more about this. I need to keep seeking. We kind of get addicted to this searching for truth. It's like, when is it going to be enough? When am I going to finally be like, all right, I know what I need to do, not just do it. Have the discipline to commit to it, here and now. You are in the holiest of temples, yourself. You abide in the perfect moment for your transformation. Nothing limits you at all, or at any time. The power of the freedom of choice is the essence of Christ. And the very, very, very power that you have been using to try to convince yourself of your limitations is exactly the same power that I use to overcome death. There is no difference, except a wink of an eye, an intention, a commitment, a recognition. That is all. In reality, nothing is impossible to you, and nothing unavailable to you. And then again, he reminds us that we must take responsibility. Everything is coming from us. Nothing outside of us can control us. We create our reality. In every moment of your experience, what you experience is coming from within you. It is not placed in you from a source outside of yourself. And in every moment, you remain free to observe and to notice whether you are having a good time being where you are. That is, being in your perception of life and recognizing you have the power to think differently. The next big thing he talks about is identifying with personality, with ego, and saying that is not what we really are. Just like the body, we think we're the body, we're not. This personality, this role, these different masks we wear, like I am the son to this person, or I am a lawyer, your profession, your status, whatever it may be, that's not what we really are. And it's crucial in the way of transformation, he says, to become aware of how you're identifying yourself. Because immediately when you identify yourself a certain way, it sets up limits. It sets it in stone. This is what I am, this is what happens to me, and so forth. The second you define yourself, you constrain yourself within the parameters that you have chosen to value. And you, that quickly, create exactly the experience of the vibrations that are the effect of the squiggles. Think of those squiggles and parameters of a little self as the effect of certain pebbles that have been dropped into the pond of your consciousness. Once you draw the line, certain effects flow from it. 'Tis very, very important to bring awareness to the definitions you have given yourself and keep insisting upon each and every day. That is like dropping the same pebble into the same stream, creating the same effects, and nothing is transformed. If you want the experience of walking on this planet as an enlightened master, first come to understand the foundation upon which the way of transformation is based. Secondly, bring awareness to the definitions of yourself that have become unconscious for you. And then deliberately redefine yourself as you enter into the field of your experiences. That last quote is a very good overview of the whole lesson. First, realize what the way of transformation is based on, which is you must take responsibility for what you're choosing to think every day, because that's what's creating your reality. And second, examine how you identify yourself as. Make those decisions conscious, those identifications conscious, so that you may redefine yourself. And this last quote I'll share is a really good analogy. I think he gives a kind of an image to get the idea of what's happening here. The only transformation you can experience in space and time is the reaching down from the depth of the ocean to one tiny temporary wave and readjusting the little foam drops at the tip of the wave you call the body-mind of the self, so that it begins to be a transparent conduit for an awareness of the ocean itself. That's the game of awakening. It is actually the most delightful use of time you will ever find. Again, that was just a taste of the lesson. If you want the full lesson, you can buy the books, or they're free online at womlibrary.com. It's really cool that he did this, a really great service. He provided it all for free. And this is a part of a series. Check out the next lesson, lesson 2 of The Way of Transformation. Thank you.